Hello there. Let's have a look at the weather forecast for Europe over the next few days. And summer has central areas firmly in its grip. We're seeing lots of fine, dry, sunny and warm weather here, with temperatures continuing to rise, certainly across more eastern areas. But we're still seeing some stormy weather biting at the edges. We've got warnings out for Sicily, so southern parts of Italy, seeing some storms on Thursday. They'll push further east into Greece. We've got the eastern half on alert, amber alert, for that wet weather as we go into Friday, and you can see the wetter weather as well gathering around the Black Sea. Now behind that, things are looking mighty fine and dry, but not for northern parts of France. We are going to see some wet weather here, and it's a similar story for the Iberian Peninsula. Some welcome wet weather moving into Spain there as we go towards the end of the week, but it's looking much drier and settled across Britain and the island of Ireland. Some wetter weather moving across into Scandinavia. In terms of temperatures, they have been below average for Spain and Portugal. They'll come up slightly in the days ahead, but the heat is really blasting into the Balkans. We've got temperature warnings out for Serbia, and you can see Belgrade continuing to see those temperatures rise. We'll be at 35 degrees on Sunday. Hello there. It's a largely quiet picture weather-wise across South America. We've got high pressure in charge across that central slice, so barely a cloud in the sky for places like Brazil. But what you can't see is smoke from the wildfires. It's flooded into cities like Manaus, affecting the air quality there. Now, we're not going to see any wet weather here over the next few days, which is bad news in terms of clearing out that smoke. The wetter weather will be lurking further north, and we're seeing the development of some severe storms in the very south for the likes of Argentina. We'll see those rumble into Buenos Aires, bringing rain on Friday and Saturday and knocking temperatures down. But further north of this, temperatures are sitting very high for Paraguay, Bolivia and into Brazil. We'll see those numbers come up in places like Asunción as we go into Friday. So lots of settled weather to be found here. Some settled weather as well, but lots of wet weather for the Caribbean as we move to Central America and the Caribbean. The waves of wet weather will be pulling across the Bahamas, flooding into parts of Cuba, with some heavy rain to come for eastern areas here on Friday. Some wet weather as well pulling into the Yucatan Peninsula, and we'll see that rain fall in Mexico on Friday. Hello there. We'll start in South Asia, where a deep depression has moved its way over western parts of India, causing flooding in places like Gujarat. Now, the red warnings on Friday are for Saurashtra, but southern parts of Pakistan will also see those torrential rains. Now, that circulation is set to pull out into the Arabian Sea, where it could become a tropical system. But on Saturday, the red warnings switch to the east for Telangana. That's where we're going to see the heaviest of the rain falling through the weekend. Not as wet down in the south, but wetter across Japan. That's thanks to Typhoon Shanshan. It's bringing some strong winds, but torrential rain because it's a slow-moving typhoon with an unpredictable path, but it's set to move from Shikoku onwards to Honshu, taking some very heavy rain that's likely to cause flooding and landslides. We'll see that in Tokyo, that wet weather on Friday with thunderstorms. Very humid as well, with heat still there through to Sunday. Now, down in Southeast Asia, we're seeing some heavy rain flood into Indochina, heaviest of the falls to come for southern parts of Cambodia and Vietnam on Saturday. That's your weather update. Hello there. We'll start in the Middle East, where heavy rain has caused floods of Yemen. The rain is still there on Friday. It's not as heavy as it has been. There's some heavy burn running up into the west coast of Saudi Arabia as well. Elsewhere across the Gulf states are set to come down. Doha in Qatar. To the east of that, we're watching a circuit, and we're seeing more in the way of unsettled weather across the north of Africa, with showers for Morocco. They'll be developing across northern parts of Algeria, and the thunderstorm warnings remain for southern areas of Libya, and that's because the rains across the central band of Africa are sitting further north than expected for this time of year. We're going to see some pretty fierce thunderstorms on Saturday affecting Niger, some heavier rain as well for Nigeria. Now, it's been largely fine and dry for southern parts of Africa, but we've got an icy blast that's brought some snow to Table Mountain in Cape Town. It'll bring cooler conditions to the east. The sunshine will be back in Cape Town on Saturday.